Welcome back to FM Story. It's the run into season 15 of The Save, and what a season it's been. We've already picked up 3 trophies. First the UEFA Super Cup, then the Scottish League Cup, and we've already wrapped up the league title. We did that with 9 games to spare. We've won our 7th league title in succession. Unfortunately, we went out of the Scottish Cup in the 5th round. After beating Rangers in the 4th round, we were beaten on penalties by Queen's Park in the 5th round, but we're still in the Champions League. We've been drawn against Arsenal in the quarterfinals. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We've made it to the second leg of the quarterfinal against Arsenal, and we need to get a result from the away leg. We've played 3 games since the end of the last episode. Firstly, we beat Celtic 3-2. We were 3-0 up and then let them back in the game in the second half. The first leg, we lost 1-0. One of our former players scoring the goal in the second half for them. And then we beat Dundee United 4-0 in the most recent league game. So going into the second leg, we do have a few issues with a couple of injuries and a suspension. Hopefully we can put in a big performance to see us into the semi-final. So this is the side we've picked for the second leg. Nuevo suspended, so we've obviously gone with Lacam and Goncalves in that defensive midfield role. We've gone with Jordan Ash to start on the left because both Kerr and Pasquale aren't fully fit, and obviously their team, there's 2 in the starting lineup that were formerly our players, Medina in goal and the captain Danny Smith, who it looks like, just based on where their team forms, they're playing him as a right winger, whereas we obviously converted him into being a right back in his time at the club so that we could play both him and Alan Kerr at the same time. There's very little happening early on. 1 shot in the first 10 minutes in the whole game. Right, free kick to us. It's lifted to the back post. Fire heads home. Was he onside? I mean, surely he must have been. It's been disallowed. Jordan Ash for the free kick. He just drifted offside. That's just stupid because he didn't need to do that either. A free kick for them, whipped into the box, it's headed up in the air. Fonseca brings it down. Gone to the byline, pulled it back. It's Danny Smith that scored again. And now we've got a hill to climb. 2 goals down, away from home. Found so much space in the box there, considering the amount of players that were along the 6-yard line. Right, corner, Rajkovic to take, lifts it into the near post, it's headed up in the air. Ash goes back to get it. Goes down the left wing. Stands across up to the back post. Cochise gets up in the air, heads it down. We've levelled it on the night and reduced the aggregate deficit to 1 goal. Ash did well, got back to pick the ball up and then just had space to run into down that left-hand side. The defender gave up. He stands up to the back post. Cochise gets up. The left-back doesn't. And that's 1-1 on the night and 2-1 on aggregate. Right, a free kick for them. Right, Milosavljevic wins a header, but it goes straight back to Fonseca. I feel like they're just going to shift it and open up a gap somewhere, but when we're getting onto the ball, we can't keep it. We're just at full stretch and they're picking up the loose ball. Wide to Smith. Yeah, we're just not closing them down at all here. We're giving them far too much time to pick a pass every time. Although we forced them back to the keeper this time, but then he's got an easy ball out to his centre half. Ball through the middle, João Pedro. And back to a 2-goal deficit on aggregate. I mean, for all that, them keeping the ball and everything like that, it's just basically a ball over the top of the defence. The defenders don't make the run, he does. And when he's one-on-one with the keeper, he's always scoring from there. There we are at half-time, 2-1 down on the night, 3-1 down on aggregate. Lecam's picked up a knock, he's going to have to come off at half-time. And I think with needing 2 goals in the second half, we're probably going to have to switch up the formation and how we're playing a bit to try and get at them. So we've taken Lecam off at half-time. We've brought Pascual on up top. We've had Goncalves just sitting there now at the base of that midfield, and we're basically going a bit more direct, try and bypass the midfield and see what happens. They've got a throw. They've forced them back to the keeper. And then they've passed out Simoes. And I don't know whether that's just the extra bodies up the top end of the pitch that's pressed them a bit more. But we've levelled it on the night. It's 1-goal deficit now on aggregate. Medina's pass, Simoes picks it up. Medina then is out of position and Simoes has a simple finish. Right, Rackler with the free kick. Thibaut to Duffy. Down the line looking for home. They've cut it out, and now this is where throwing everyone forward, trying to get back into the game, could lead to them having a counter-attack, but we've got it. Simoes. It's 3-2 on the night. It's now 3-3 on aggregate, and we might have to change up what we've done here because we are very, very, very attacking. I don't know that we actually have the players on the pitch to do anything different with the formation. We might just have to wait and see. Duffy wins it back. Finds Cochise, who just helps it on to Simoes and just pokes it under the keeper. Right, the game's gone quiet for a bit here. Cochise going forward down the right, loses out, and now this is where the tactic that we've got and the players on the pitch we've got cause us problems, because now that they're attacking, there's space for them to move into, and thankfully they didn't hit the target. Now we've got to throw Cochise to Simoes, back to Cochise, lifts it towards the back post, it's headed clear as far as Milosavljevic, back to Thibaut, Payet, on to Cochise. Was he offside? He's found the back of the net, but he must have been offside there. He has to have been offside. And there it is. There's a goal disallowed. So Thibaut to Payet, and he just didn't get out of the box at all. Didn't get out. Right, from that free kick, now they're attacking. And now they're going to get a chance here. Oh, we've half intercepted. No, I think he must have been offside. Yeah, because the keeper actually made the save in the end. And there we are, full time. So we're heading to extra time. I think this is where we need to change this formation back to something more resembling a normal formation. Right, so we're into extra time. We've switched up the formation slightly. We have made the last of our changes that are allotted to us. And now we've got half an hour to see if we can make it to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And there we are at half-time and extra time. Absolutely nothing happened in the first half of extra time. Will one of the sides be brave enough to try and go and get a winner without relying on penalties? Right, we've got to throw Turnbull to Simoes, back to Turnbull. Looks for Duffy, it comes off him to Ash. In the box, gets to the byline, squares it. Duffy turns it home. And for the first time in the tie, in the 109th minute, we go up on aggregate. The ball hit off Duffy. Ash then goes round the Arsenal defence, pulls it back, gets a nick. Duffy's the one approaching, attacking the ball, puts it past Medina, and we're 4-2 up. Right, we've got 10 minutes to see out here. And they don't seem to be creating an awful lot late on here. A couple of minutes left of normal time in the extra time. It's going to be 1 minute of injury time, and they've got an attack. Ball's worked to the edge of the box. There's a tackle. Don't want to give away a penalty. They've missed a sitter. And that hopefully is game over. Riccioli just goes long with the goal kick. They've won the header, but we've got it. Tala down the right. Back to Duffy. Turnbull dumps across into the box looking for home. They've managed to clear it. Smith flicks it on, but Alvarez goes back to get it. Rackler back to Riccioli. Fayette. And there we are, full time. And somehow we've come from behind to win this quarter-final, knock Arsenal out after extra time, and we're into the semi-finals of the Champions League again. We've made it to our final game of the season, and it is a Champions League final in Germany against RB Leipzig. And I'm not massively confident going into the game, but we'll get to that in a second. Since the second leg against Arsenal, we just about snuck past Aberdeen 4-3 in the league. We won the first leg of the semi-final 4-1 against Rennes with a hat-trick from Simovic. We then beat Dundee United 1-0 in the league. We then nearly tossed away the chance to get into the final, losing 2-0 in the second leg of the semi-final. But luckily, with the advantage from the first leg, we went through 4-3 in aggregate. Since then, we've beaten Hibs 2-0, Celtic 2-1, and Rangers 2-0. So as far as the league's concerned, we've ended the league season unbeaten. We've won 36 of 38 games. We've ended with 110 points. We've won the title by 41 points from Rangers. We finished 59 points clear of Celtic, who finished 6th and are not going to be playing European football next season. Pedro Simovic got 38 goals in the league. We were just absolutely outstanding all season in the league, and only drew those 2 games, and those 2 games were away at Dunfermline, who finished 7th, and away at Aberdeen, who finished 3rd. We've beaten Rangers 4 times in the league. We've beaten Celtic 4 times in the league this season. That's our 7th league title in a row. And now we're going to the final of the Champions League. Now, we do have our captain out injured. Alan Kerr, surprisingly enough, or maybe it's not surprisingly, given the amount of times he's injured, is out as well. The interesting factor is that João Mendes, who is our player, is currently on loan at Leipzig and is available to play in the final as well. So I'm half expecting him to score the winner, but we've got the final. Hopefully we can retain the Champions League, and let's see how it goes. So this is the side we've picked going into the final. We've gone with Thibaut to partner Faye in the centre of defence, which means Alvarez is playing at left back, and then we've gone with Pascual wide left. Obviously, as we can see, João Mendes is playing for them. Like I say, I'm expecting him to pop up with the winner. They do have probably the best young goalkeeper in the world in Willem, who we did try to sign when he went to Leipzig, which was the summer that Juan Medina left and went to Arsenal. We couldn't get him because he decided to go to Leipzig instead. And this is going to be a tough task. But we're the defending champions. We've made it all the way to the final. Can we go and retain this trophy? Right, so both teams are matched up the same. 4-2-3-1 against 4-2-3-1. Right, throw in Milosavljevic, Rajkovic. Milosavljevic into the midfield, but we've given it away Now they're coming forward. Mendes, what a ball. Egger scores. And we're now relying on the offside flag because he did look like he was ahead of the defence, but I think they timed it pretty well. But it's been disallowed. So Mendes they've just offside. We've just about got away with that. Since that chance, not much has happened early on in the game. We've only had one shot in the first half hour. And there we are, half time. Apart from that disallowed goal for them, very, very little of any substance seems to have happened in that first half. Right, we've sent the same team out to start the second half. Right, they've got a free kick. Darvic goes from distance. Riccioli does brilliantly to get across and turn it behind for a corner. Now we need to keep ourselves switched on and defend this corner properly. Darvic to take. It's lofted towards the back post. The keeper came for it, got nowhere near it, but we've managed to get it, scramble it away slightly. They've still got the ball alive though, and then it doesn't come to anything. Right, so we've brought some fresh legs on for the last 15-20 minutes of normal time to see if we can get something from this game before the 90 minutes is up. Right, a throw in Nuevo to Simovic, back to Nuevo. Rajkovic. Ash turns, gets the byline, squares it. And the keeper denies Simovic at the near post. Rajkovic to take the corner. Lifts it into the near post, it's headed up in the air. Simovic nods it down. It's still alive. Nuevo out to Rajkovic to the back post. And it's over the top of Cochise. Right, less than 5 minutes in all time left. Riccioli turns another corner. Another free kick over the bar. And they've got another corner. Darvic to take from the left-hand side this time. They've pulled it back to the edge of the area. They've hit the bar. It's still alive. Get the ball. Right. Ash wins it. Rajkovic, Simovic on the counter-attack here. Can you get the ball in the box? Lifted the ball in. Rajkovic goes for it. It's still alive. Tala. Lakam. Back to Milosavljevic. Crosses towards the back post. Ash. In the 89th minute, we've gone 1-0 up. And this, like, based on all the highlights we've seen, has to be against the run of play. Their corner, we break. We recycle it. Lakam goes back to Milosavljevic, who just stands up at the back post. Ash gets up above the right back, heads home, and we're moments away from retaining the Champions League. There's 4 minutes of injury time to come. Right, goal kick. They've gone out to the left back. Please. Oh, Ash gets back and wins it off Milsom, but then doesn't clear it well. Offside referee, surely. I thought that might have been a penalty actually, but Thibaut, and we still haven't cleared it properly. They've gone direct down the middle. Lakam. What was that? I mean, we should be going to extra time. They should have scored there. But instead, we've managed to retain the Champions League. I still don't know actually how we got past Arsenal in the quarter-final. We nearly threw the semi-final away. I would say we were the second best team in the final, but we've come up with a goal where it mattered. We've ended the season with another 4 trophies, and it's the second season in a row we've won the Champions League. And there we go, the end of season 15, and what a season it's been. We've won another 4 trophies. We started with the UEFA Super Cup against Atletico Madrid. We then beat Rangers in extra time in the Scottish League Cup final. We then wrapped up the league title with 9 games to spare our 7th successive league title, and then we've only gone and retained the Champions League. How on earth do we match that next season? Join us next time to find out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.